Hey guys, hope you all are doing well. Prime Collections here. Hopefully you guys had an amazing weekend. You gotta do the things you wanted to do. First off, before we get started today, I want to thank you guys so much. The amount of support and just views and looks at my content the last few days has been crazy. I cannot say thank you guys enough. To everybody who's recently subscribed, thank you guys as well. It has just been insane lately, guys, and I really appreciate that. Today we just had NYCC finish, and I wanted to talk about the Frightmare on Fun Street event as a whole. I want to talk about the price comparison to what was the Box of Fun event during San Diego Comic-Con, and I wanted to really look at which one really stood out and which one was pretty lackluster. And I think we all know the answer to that. But let's not hesitate, let's not wait longer, and let's get into it in the world of Funko today. After the exclusives dropped at about 6 a.m. on Friday, they in general dropped at the New York City Comic Con. People had reserved time slots to go ahead and pick those up in person, and those of them who were lucky enough to get Frightmare on Fun Street tickets went to the event. Now, when talking about this event, it came out to about $200 per ticket. That is not including airplane expenses, that is not including hotel expenses, and that is not including New York City Comic Con tickets as well, because you had to purchase those as well to even be able to purchase the Frightmare on Fun Street tickets. So in general, we're looking at about an $800 price tag. On the flip side, if you go to San Diego Comic Con, it had, I want to say, about a $150 price tag in general, and it was in California. You also have to consider flights, hotel stay, and tickets to the event, because it's also a prerequisite to get into that event. With that being said, the first impressions I was getting from people was there was not enough chairs. The food ran out extremely quickly, and at certain points of the night, people were reporting that there were younger kids who were literally falling asleep on the floor because they were so bored at the event. From what I could tell just from people's initial reactions that I was seeing online, because I personally wasn't there, so I can't say from first-hand experience, this is just what I was reading on Twitter and Instagram. People were very upset. They had paid $200 to go to this event, and it just seemed like it was handled extremely poorly. There was no real order to it. There was no real like, hey, this is how things are going to go, and it didn't seem like they had enough room. On the flip side, at San Diego Comic-Con, for $150, people got to go through an experience, get some protos, which I will admit people did get protos at the New York City Comic-Con event, but in general, at the San Diego Comic-Con event, they separated them into 4 separate teams and seated them all very comfortably. You could see that there was enough room for everybody, and they had definitely thought this out, and they had definitely planned it in a much better way. Now, concerning Frightmare on Fun Street, when you initially entered in, you got a proto. You also got a couple tickets. The ones I was seeing online were like zombie and monster, and you redeem those for different items in the night. The people who went were able to get a in-person Bella Porch, which that's kind of crappy because that's just a Funko Shop exclusive, and I don't believe they were signed. So that's really crappy as kind of a giveaway item there in person, especially when you pay $200. The proto's very cool. They also got a 2-pack, which was a Jack in the Box and a Monster Taco. This was a skeleton Jack in the Box and Monster Taco. This is actually an awesome 2-pack. My only issue with this is another one of those items like the Bella Porch, I think is going to be available later on for people to acquire. It seems like the items they were giving out this time were not very limited. It just seems like they said, hey, we've got these, so let's give these away because people are going to be here, and it didn't really feel like an in-live person experience. We also had a Run DMC Gold, which I don't collect Funko Gold, and maybe there's some people there who would be excited for it, but if it was me personally, this is my personal opinion, I probably would have been a little bit peeved. Definitely peeved. They also received at the event a Freddy that was like a jack-o'-lantern kind of blacklight, and it looks really cool. It's limited to 1,700 pieces. Definitely one of the more limited things they got there actually at this event. So that was pretty cool to see. And that's definitely what I think they should be, given to people who make this trek to these events. They want limited pieces that the only way you can acquire is going to these events. And if you give them things, or you're basically rewarding them with these items that then people can go online to go get, why did they spend the money to go do this later on or do this early? With that being said, we got, some different assorted pins, some different assorted cards, some different assorted keychains, a lock. And there was the box of Fright that was in person. People were really wondering, what's this going to be? What's it going to be in general? And when we looked at it, it was the exact same box for everybody who was in person. It was a Freddy Funko as Creep from Creep Show. We had a Freddy Funko as an alien from They Live. We had a Freddy Funko as Sam from Trick or Treat. They were all limited to 1,600 pieces. And then there were 3 different sodas, depending on which ones you got. There was Freddy Funko as a Devil and Candy Corn. There's like a Freddy Funko as Player 456. There's a bunch of different variations of stuff we had already kind of seen. So again, this is one of those things where you get this box and it doesn't feel that special because every other person who's in the event has the exact same box with just a little bit of variations on the soda. Even if the sodas are extremely low piece counts, which I do appreciate, the fact that the pops are the exact same for everybody else is really kind of a slap in the face for everybody who went there. And just so you guys don't think I'm crapping all over the event in general and like I'm just saying, oh, it was bad. For $50 less for the Box of Fun event, the things that you were capable of getting and were given away at this event are as follows. First of all, there was a Freddy Fresh that was limited to 500 pieces. You then had Freddy Funko as Player 456, which came in people's in-person boxes of fun that was 2,000 pieces. You had an Optimus Prime regular variant that was 1,500 pieces, and then you had a metallic variant that was 500 pieces depending on the boxes you got in person. You then had a Loki variant that was 1,500 pieces, and you had a metallic version that was also 500 pieces. Then given away to the people actually in person, you had a Freddy Summertime, you had a Freddy Showtime, you had a Freddy Funko as a Blacklight Optimus Prime. All 3 of these limited to 500 pieces given away to each different group who won them, and they made sure to even those out, which was really cool. You then had a Blacklight Fluffy, which was pretty much given to, I want to say, most of the people there. Yes, that was an item that was available later on, but that's just topping on stuff that they already had given out at the event. You also had a 2,000 piece Blacklight Jabberwocky piece that was given out there at the event live, which you cannot get anywhere else. And then finally, they were giving out 500 piece of their mascots that glowed in the dark. So just in general, guys, based upon the stuff that was given out, how the event was handled, and the price, it seems to me that the San Diego Comic-Con event was handled way better. It just seems like they had put a lot more planning into it. And understand, San Diego Comic-Con is a much bigger event. But when you're going to offer a Funko experience that people are going to pay $200 for, they would like to have that experience match what they're paying for. People got that when they went to the Box of Fun event for San Diego Comic-Con this year. When they went to the Frightmare on Fun Street event, I heard a lot of people complaining. I saw a lot of complaints on Twitter, and people were very, very upset. And I don't blame them. If I had paid $200 to go to this event in person and then paid an additional $200 for tickets to Comic-Con, let's take the fact that I would probably bring my girlfriend. So we're paying $400 for the Funko tickets. We're paying $400 for the actual Comic-Con event itself. Then we have to buy our flights. That's from New York, from where I live. That's not going to be cheap. Round trip's probably going to be $1,000 per person. So we are up to now $2,800 total just for this. And then we're not going to include the fact that there's hotel stay for 3 days. So let's add another $500. So we're at $3,300. Let's not include food, all the other stuff. If I paid all that for this, one-time Funko experience, and this may be the only time I'm doing it, it's going to be a massive letdown. And I feel that a lot of people, this was their first experience, and they may not do something like this again because of the sour taste in the mouth that was left. The fact is, the only limited thing that was at New York City Comic Con that you could get there was the in-person boxes of Fright, which every person got the same one minus the sodas. And then you had that Freddy Funko that was a skeleton variant that was 1,700 pieces. And unfortunately, that's not enough to dictate a $200 price tag. And that is not enough for an event that had not enough seats, not enough food, poor air conditioning, and in general, bad giveaways. But guys, in general, I'm not trying to be super negative about these experiences. I wanted to compare these two events and say what could have been done better and what could have been done worse. And I think in general, it was still an awesome experience for people to have, but I feel like Funko should have done some better planning, maybe some more, space management so that people could have actually had a place to sit, maybe get in some better caterers so people had a little bit more food. And, maybe really consider, they paid $200. What are we going to do for them as fans? And that's all I'm really talking about, is the collectors and the fans at the end of the day who wanted to experience this and who kind of felt let down. And that's why I wanted to compare these two, because realistically, when you have something like this, you want it to be memorable and really, really well done, especially if you pay a lot of money for it. So that's really what I was talking about. And I just wanted to kind of compare those and break it down. And I wasn't trying to crap all over the event. I thought it was very cool that they still did this. And I'm hoping that they do this in the future, just a little bit better planned. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. I truly appreciate it. Tomorrow I'm going to have a special guest with me. We're going to have an opening on the channel. Plus, we're going to talk about some more cool stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. If you could do me one more small favor before you go, if you could please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. If not, I completely understand. As always, guys, I'll see you all tomorrow.